Thanks for having me. I'm a head of product and one of the co-founders of Casper. Just so I know, how many folks here have heard of Casper? Oh, it's pretty good. So I will run you through a little bit of my background, a little bit of how we started Casper, and then I just want to take you through three things that we're thinking about that are working well for us in terms of customer engagement and how we think about retail. So a bit of my background. My background's in product design and development. I worked for a design firm called IDEO for 10 years. I did a lot of work in healthcare. This was a 2-year project designing some surgical tools for spinal fusion surgery, kind of barbaric surgery, which we currently do and hopefully will get replaced at some point in the future. I left IDEO and went to work for myself, started a small company working in Southeast Asia, East Africa, West Africa, designing products and businesses to improve access to clean water, sanitation, hand hygiene. Amazingly enough, this is why I work at Casper. Because in that world, I came across a startup called WaterWalla, and I advised them. And WaterWalla was started by a bunch of students from Brown to do the distribution of clean water filters in a slum in Mumbai. And one of the founders of WaterWalla, Neil Parikh, is the guy in the back left, became a good friend of mine. And these other guys are the other co-founders of Casper, and Neil knew them, so that was my connection in. So they called me about 3 years ago to get help addressing this problem. The statistics in the US are very similar to these. So it's the amount of sleep in the UK, according to the Sleep Council, that the average Briton gets in 2013 and 1942. I think we'd all agree that we had much greater reason to lose sleep in 1942 than we do right now. So we have a fundamental problem with our society that we're not sleeping enough. And this is what's interesting to us. We are a mattress company. If you've heard of us, you think about us as a mattress company. The long term, what's far more interesting for us is building a company focused on sleep and solving the issues people have around sleep. Obviously, we started with mattresses. This is a store in the US that sells mattresses. This is a store in the UK that sells mattresses. There's a lot of similarities between them. Luckily for us, it's a terrible customer experience. And it became a very easy place for us to start a business. It's like buying a used car. There's not many things that are worse. You pay about twice as much as you should for the quality of product you get. The sell tactics are pretty aggressive. Things are always on sale. 2 different stores might sell the same product, but it's labeled differently, so you can't price compare. It just ranks up there as a terrible customer experience, and it gave us a lot of things we could do better. One thing that's really interesting for us is mattress stores are transactional. They don't care to build a relationship with you because you buy a mattress every 8 to 10 years. And so there is no brand building. I would guess almost nobody in this room, unless you have a Casper, knows what kind of mattress you sleep on or where you bought it when you bought it a long time ago. So that's the world we entered into. What did we do? We decided to start designing a mattress. This is me 3 years ago, doing a lot of testing on different products. We developed tons of prototypes. For those that aren't aware of the model, we actually ended up with just a single product we sell, which in retail, I've learned is a really nice thing to only sell one thing. And it just came through experimentation and a lot of prototype testing. So this is Philip and Luke delivering a mattress. We are venture funded. It took a long time for us to raise capital. In the beginning, not that many VCs wanted to invest in a mattress company. They are delivering a mattress to the guy who actually led our seed round, because nobody would give us money unless they slept on a prototype. The van on the right side is that venture capitalist's mattress that he had, and he didn't want to get rid of it, so we had to drive it to his country house for storage in case he didn't like ours. Thankfully, he loved the mattress, invested in the company, still sleeps on that prototype, and he conceived his first child, we think, on that, although he didn't name him Casper, which is sad for us. So for those that don't know, this is what the product looks like. It's a very simple industrial design. There's a lot of engineering, more than you would ever imagine, that goes into the selection of what's inside of that product. The model is this. That mattress is 97% air, so we can squish the air out of it, seal it, fold it up, roll it up, put it in a box, and deliver it to you via bicycle courier, via UPS, via DHL, however you want it. You get it home, and maybe you have a very attractive boyfriend who carries it up the stairs for you. You pull it out of the box, you unpack it, and for Americans, you eat a popsicle. Luke is British, and he claims that that's called an ice lolly, which I'm not sure is true or not. I think he might have been pulling my leg. And then you enjoy your mattress. So these are the numbers. We launched in April of 2014. We did $1 million of sales in the first month, $100 million in 2015. We'll do $200 million in 2016. We have 220 folks and over 400,000 customers right now. We also sell, and I'll talk about it at the very end, we've introduced other products, and we'll continue to introduce more products to fill out the sleep ecosystem. We have a thesis around what makes a great environment for sleeping, and we're working towards developing the products to do that. One of the reasons, and it was alluded to, why did we grow so quickly? It caught us by surprise, to be honest. There's enormous, this is a screenshot from a YouTube video of somebody, I think he's about to unbox the mattress and open it, but he's got something else distracting him. So there was a huge amount of sharing, and it's something we've invested a lot of time into to create the assets and create the environments and interactions which help with that. It's a far less expensive marketing to get people to share with each other than for us to buy AdWords. So when we went into the business, we had a metric, which was Tempur-Pedic, which would be probably the most recognizable brand in the market before we entered. On average, a Tempur-Pedic customer shares with 14 of their friends that they bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Obviously, with social media, that can get scaled up orders of magnitude, and that's what we've leveraged to grow so quickly. So just to talk about these three things, three ways we engage customers. We're a tech company, but we make really old school products. We engage our customers deeply in physical product development. So from the very first day we launched, people just really were drawn to the brand, and they wanted to be involved in the development of our products. So we created a virtual entity called Casper Labs, and we let anybody join on the premise that they would help us in the development of products, and they would give us feedback. We would take input from them. Within 6 weeks, we had 15,000 people sign up for Casper Labs. So now we have this cohort, a bunch of different cohorts of customers that we can interact with, and we interact with on many different levels. So on the lowest level, it's just small surveys. Our customer service team will do outbound. We did a outbound survey to 600 customers who bought pillows to just understand a little bit more about that experience. It's not something we would bother a normal customer with, but a Casper Labs customer has decided to engage in that. On like a more intimate way, we have a conference room set up as a test lab with humidifiers and heaters and sensors, sleep trackers, and we'll have customers come in and sleep in there. And we learn a lot, and this is deep. So I threw a graph in here because I thought there'd be a lot of data scientists. So we're testing a new top-of-bed bedding product, and one metric we track is dew point under the covers, which is kind of a weird thing, but it's a combination of temperature, humidity, and is a good indication of how comfortable it is to sleep. And on the top is a baseline without the prototype. On the bottom is with the prototype. all you need to know is that the closer to red, the more uncomfortable and sweaty you're going to be. So we're trying to build this sleep environment that is much more comfortable for you to sleep, so you'll get a more restful night's sleep. So this is our customers getting involved. We also do something which is a little weird. We do in-market A/B testing of products. So we were seeing returns of pillows from a problem which we thought was related to packaging. And we wanted to test a different packaging methodology and understand if it would solve that problem. You can't use surveys and questionnaires to solve that. So the solution we implemented, and sorry for these bad pictures, but it was compressing and roll packing a pillow. We had been shipping it full size. We just did it 500 times and sent them out to people and tracked the return rate and then do outbound surveys. It's something we can do as a direct-to-consumer company that the existing retailers can't do because we have that existing relationship with our customers. So there's some cases where we can't do this because it's not ethical to totally change a product when it's different than what somebody thinks they're buying, but in some cases we're okay to do this because it's fundamentally not a different thing and it should be an improvement over an experience improvement over what they have. Other things we do, so we believe that the more social interaction, social discussion there is around sleep, the better off it is for Casper and the better off it is for our customers. So we created a media property called Van Winkles, which we employ 4 or 5 writers that just go out and research and write about sleep. It's very loosely, nearly disconnected from Casper. But it increases the conversation about sleep. We believe long-term, the more people are invested in sleep, the more they'll come to us or other people, but invest in sleep as a part of their lifestyle. We also believe stuff that's less sciencey, less rigorous than Van Winkles also helps us. So we get a lot of social media posting about Casper. This is Kylie Jenner. She got a new house. She got 2 Casper mattresses. And I think it had 850,000 likes with our brand in it. We didn't pay or give her anything for this. For the Americans in the room that know Odell Beckham Jr., he's probably the biggest star in the NFL right now, although he's not having a good season. He knows one of our people on our marketing team through this weird connection through Drake. He liked Casper mattresses, so he got Casper mattresses for everybody on the New York Giants American football team for spring training and posted about it. So the more people are seeing our brand in the world, the better off we are. The last thing I'll talk about is how we think about physical retail in what is really a DTC e-commerce-based company. So we started web only, and then we're increasingly migrating to having more physical retail in different forms. What's really interesting for us is physical retail as a way, part of it is trial, because people want to lay on the mattress. It's not overly important in our opinion in terms of whether they like it or not. What's more important is like building the community of Casper fans. So our most transitory thing is the Casper Napmobile. Drives around to, in the US, 2nd and 3rd tier cities from a size standpoint. We usually have events so that people who have been following the brand in Portland, Oregon, or Cleveland, Ohio, can come and engage with us. People really want to talk with people that work at Casper, touch the product, talk to the people. On a slightly deeper level, we do pop-up stores. We actually have a pop-up store in Covent Garden right now. It gives us an actual physical venue for 2 or 3 or 4 months to host events. This was a more permanent showroom we had in West Hollywood. For people that know LA, it's in the West Hollywood Hills. It's a real pain to get to. It's not a place you would normally put retail, but it wasn't a place where we were trying to get conversion and sell product. We hosted events for any early rap fans. Warren G played a concert at the showroom. Huge amount of sharing, huge amount of brand affinity generated from that. In our current LA showroom, we host weekly events, weekly yoga. And why yoga? Like, it's obvious for a company like Lululemon to host yoga. We believe these ancillary activities that support more relaxed, more healthy, more sleep-focused lifestyle are good for people and good for us. At the Standard Hotel in New York, we hosted for Americans, again, we have drive-in cinemas, or we used to. This was a sleep-in cinema where people came, relaxed on Casper mattresses and watched a movie. And lastly, we launched a dog mattress in August. And we hosted, I didn't realize this, but there are influencer dogs in social media, so we hosted a steak dinner for the most important dogs in the world. And Wally and Louis Reginald enjoyed their steak and mashed potatoes, and they washed it down with some wiener water. If you look in the bottle, there's little sausages. So I think all these things are, one of the reason we've scaled so quickly beyond, I think, what we ever dreamed of was, there's the mechanics of, like, we think we have a great product, it's a great price, the delivery is easy, there's a 100-day trial period, but that only gets you so far. I think what's really pushed us forward so much faster is people's affinity and love for the brand, and it's these types of events that grow that. It's not a purely rational decision as to why people are drawn to our brand. It's the emotion created by these events. Thank you.